These are the walls that you built 2 years ago, making sure I'm exact, 2 years ago. And it's like kind of a maze. It goes back and forth, and it leads to the back deck where more of the haunted house goes around the house. How did you build these, Ed?
So this will be the 3rd year that they're up. It is 2-inch foam that I carved out, including the demon and so on. A lot of work. Use a drill with a wire brush on it to carve all the rocks out.
In the black.
And the black, and then, so the whole thing is dry locked, and then again, bit of wash on it. But I also just kind of light brushed various colors on. You can see the green there, like some moss, browns, just to give it kind of more of a rock look. So the first year, if you watch the video, 2022, it's just gray dry lock. And then last year I painted it and did the wash on it. And the beams, I also painted those, the dark brown, obviously, to make it more of a mine type look.
Now, of course, this video is specifically about the maze or the labyrinth of the Haunt House 2025 season. Now, a lot of these clips are from different seasons over the last few years, so just be aware of that. Let's sit back and actually assemble all of these foam and wood frame pieces that Ed had built out to perfection. Now, it's all designed specific for his measurements, but imagine how long it takes to actually sculpt in all of the foam work and paint it. This is a lot of work that he has undertaken to create this maze labyrinth effect for Haunt House. Alright, so we're going to jump into real-time audio of us assembling one of these entire panels and laying it up into position. But I'm also going to be jumping in over voiceover here and there just to talk about some of the things that we're doing. Starting with some drill work. So the way this is designed is that each individual foam panel is kind of framed in by these wood structure supports that Ed had built, and they kind of attach together by simple screws at the tops and across the bottom. None of the wood pieces are actually attached to the actual foam boards itself. But as you can see, it's a little bit of work just to get the sides of the frame of wood to slide over the foam. Now these are designed so that they also interlock with the other segments of the wall, so it gives a lot of structural integrity at the corners also.
Pick it up, John. Pick it up.
Okay. Push.
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 There we go.
What side is it?
Oh, beautiful.
And then the end piece.
How are you going to make it into a maze? Nipple.
There we go. Push it down towards me.
You've done it for.
There you go.
You guys done it for, so you know how to make it.
Right you are, little buddy, right you are. Now, Ed has built this at least 2 or 3 times over the last few years since he had first designed it. And every time he adds a little bit of different paint or different aesthetics to it just to increase the overall, design of it. This year, 2025, he actually incorporated some wooden and skull candles to the interior of the walls, and he also put the sheer up a little bit different that people kind of run into throughout the maze there. We'll cover that a little bit in the next few clips, but here it is sitting at vertical, and as you can see, it looks really good. So it's a great, kind of collection of clips here, showcasing how well it is put together. It's really tall, it's really big, and it does take a few of us to kind of get it up into position. Alright, now here is the wall completely up here, and it does have some of those upper supports that go across, just to give it a little bit of an upward structural integrity there. And throughout the project, he'll continuously add on to this over the next week or so, getting it ready for the actual Halloween big day for a Haunt House. Now, these are pretty strong overall. You'll see the corner here has overlapping screws just to give it that structural integrity that we're looking for, because people come through here and they just absolutely blast and knock against the walls and are very rough.
So, yep, comes around through here.
And you got some supports at the top, right?
Yes, the supports at the top, which you'll see on the inside better how they're working.
And last year you had the goblin in here, right?
Yes.
The goblin was in this corner, so if you haven't seen last year's walkthrough video, make sure you do so.
So the first year I did it, I had to take pieces of wood and brace the top and try to screw it in. You can see from up there, there's not much room to do that. Had to do it by hand with a little tiny screwdriver. So last year, I made these braces that just hook on both sides. So now, as you can see, they're pretty solid.
Okay, he's shaking it. So shake it again.
So if I shake this, it's also braced on this one. So if people knock into the walls, they won't come down.
Which they do a lot. People
Yes.
really just run through here and then just have fun just knocking against each other all the way around the corner to the back deck. They're very rough at times.
Because the concrete's uneven a little bit, just some expanding foam on the bottom to hold it in place.
And you put that on fresh every year and scrape it off so it doesn't hurt your concrete,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
it doesn't hurt the concrete at all to use spray foam. It's just a temporary measure.
And then we do it with a little doorway. And coming through this other side, it's a much narrower hallway. It forces them to go single file.
Which is a good thing because then it also slows them down a little bit before they pick up speed towards the steps in the back, right?
Correct.
All right.
And if you watch the video,
More spinning foam right there. And then you also put gravel here, right?
so the carport and the driveway aren't level, so I just put some gravel in here so nobody trips on it or rolls their ankle.
No one wants to get hurt on Halloween, right?
Don't want anybody getting hurt. It's for the fun for the kids.
Yeah. Cool.
So as far as when I first built this, I numbered every panel. There's 17 panels altogether. So on the top of every panel, it has a number, and then I have a drawing, so I can just reference the drawing every year and put them in the correct order. Because as you can see, when I did it, these are two separate panels, but I wanted the rocks to line up like it's one rock.
Makes sense.
And then the posts and the bottoms and the tops are all numbered as well. So for example, on this panel here, the number for the panel, and I'm not sure which number it is, I think this is number 11. Then on the bottom I have an 11 written on the bottom plate there,
Okay.
and a 12 to correspond with this panel. So when I put it together, I just have to look at the numbers and put it all together.
Okay.
It's a two-man job putting this up, because especially the long wall over here, which is 4.5 or 5 panels, that's all put up as one piece. So just getting it to stand up takes actually 3 people to stand this one up. Everything else is a two-man job.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but it's worth it.
And when you take it down, you stow it away, and they just lean up against the wall, right?
Yes.
Okay. So it's kind of like you put it together so it's kind of mobile too, so you can just easily lean it up and have it in order, and then you can just file them out and put them back up.
Yes.
Cool. And then what do you plan to do and add this year?
So this year in here, it's going to be spider webs and spiders. So across the top, I'm going to put webbing as kind of a loose ceiling. And then of course they're going to hang down onto the pillars and so on, have spiders everywhere.
Okay.
And off these supports up top, I'm going to hang, they're like burlap sheets that are shredded, and that way it almost makes like a door set that people have to keep going through. So every few feet they're going to go through another one, just to add to the scare.
Now you're gonna have those burlaps like carved in like an arch that they have to go through, or like a slit that they have to walk through and push open.
The ones I want to get are shredded, so it's going to hang down and be a little bit see-through, but they won't really be able to see what's there. They just see it, they have to go through it.
Which is cool because oftentimes we walk through here in masks, and it's good just to kind of scare them around these corners and things. It's pretty cool. So when you get done, do you think that these supports will be blocked by some spider web?
To a point.
Cool. And you have what type of light in the light above usually?
So that's just a normal everyday light up there, but for Halloween we switch it up with a black light. It puts enough light in here that people can safely walk, but it dims it enough that it just adds to the ambiance.
Yeah. And their shirts will glow white and purple and
Yes.
all that's fun stuff too. And you have Big Mama Spider is going to go around the corner here.
Big Mama Spider last year I had hanging off of this cattle fencing here from our garden.
But before last year, when you saw a spider and you walked through here, there was a goblin in the corner, but there was no spider webs. So hopefully when you round this corner, it's just going to be a lot of spider webs that you have to walk through. It's going to kind of intensify that
Yes.
aesthetics a lot.
Yes.
Cool.
Now here's a clip from the 2025 season, and it just kind of shows a little bit of the upgrades that Ed was attempting to incorporate for the season. So he incorporated that awesome foam door right there, which is going to be included with hinges on the front of the labyrinth there. And it is actually a piece of plywood that's been layered in foam and has been distressed with that kind of greenish texture with the bronze strapping. You can also see those little light decor candles on those little frames there. He plans to upgrade those in the next season of 2026. Here is Ed assembling some of the spider webs, kind of going back and forth over the top. And it's just super glow spider web, super strength. And the reason for this is the glow is that he's going to put a UV light right there, or like a black light. And so that black light will kind of shadow some light down onto the floor, as well as to these yeah, I said it before. These little like encapsulated cocooned people, which is just pretty cool. So we're just gonna staple these into place for now, and then of course Ed can always move them around if he sees to do so. Oh, and another party foul there. So here he is attempting this again, and there's another one as well that has like a motor function, and it like wiggles back and forth. So that one needs to have a pretty strong structural connection there, but it's pretty cool overall. On currently hanging some sheer cloth inside the maze or the labyrinth that goes through your carport, right?
Yes.
And you're just using some shears, and it's just some sheer cloth. That you got this from where?
Amazon, I believe my wife got it from.
So she got it from Amazon. If possible, we'll tag that product below so y'all can kind of look into that. So all you're going to do is we're going to hang this inside the labyrinth to give what kind of feel for it?
Creepy.
Creepy is the right word here.
It will dim things just a little bit in there without stopping people from seeing where they're going. And then they got to push through it, so it's just kind of a creepy feeling.
Right on.
To go with all the spider webs.
And you're just going to staple that up to some of the support beams that you put previously in this year, right?
Yes.
And those support beams kind of keep the walls from flexing too much, as we had spoke of earlier in the video. How long are you? Exact. How long are you cutting them? Just kind of just general length.
Whatever. If they're too long, I can always cut a little bit off.
All right, let's put them up. To the labyrinth we go. And as we can see, you put up some spider webs. There's Cujo, Bubba the dog. You got some spiders and some spider webs. And then you've just got some of the animatronics sitting here ready to be put out where they belong. Now you spoke of earlier in the video that you're going to put up some spider webs. I like the look so far. And you still plan to put up a black light in the light above?
Yes.
Okay.
We always do that. Makes it so they can see, but it's dark in here.
Okay.
But not so much that they can't see.
Right on. So you're going to be attaching this one through...
Hold this.
Stapler. So you're just using standard staples just to kind of hold that up there. And even if you rip that down just to get it out of the way, you can always just retack it up again next year.
I figure I'll get 2 or 3 years out of these before I have to replace them. The more tattered, the better. Hold that.
I don't know if he's going to be able to do that. It's like, Igor, hand me the stapler. Igor.
It's Igor.
Igor? It's Igor.
Haven't you seen Young Frankenstein?
Igor.
Haven't you seen Young Frankenstein?
All right, guys. Is it Igor or Igor?
Young Frankenstein. It's Igor.
So when they come through here, they're going to come here through like this, and then they're going to be forced to move some of these out of the way. And just kind of like walk through there, and then when it's really dark, it'll really darken the whole like walkway out. This right here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now this is a clip of the 2024 season, again, that we were in previously, just showing general setup of the actual haunted house and the sheer cloth as well as the web. Now this is the sheer cloth that he had cut previously in the video, and he actually, in this season, attached it in two different segments that are hanging, so it created a natural slice that you have to just push through. Now, in the 2025 season, he actually did something a little bit different here. He actually let it cascade across the two sides of the walls from one side to the other straight across. And what this forces people to do is to kind of like almost bow or dip underneath the spider web effect. Because the whole goal is that it's going to be so dark inside of the haunted house maze that these would feel like spider webs as they kind of cross over your head, or you know, across your body, or if you're dipping or ducking below it. You want to make sure that it gives that like spider web feel across the head, or if anything else, it also makes like visual line of sight down the corridor of the maze a little bit lessened, so that those animatronics can do a little bit more spooky effects. Because they're having to duck down, they're not really truly looking forward where they're going. It kind of skews the view a little bit. He also added these little like chains as well. And do not forget, we incorporated a lot of spiders in these webs. So they have spiders of all sizes, including the Big Daddy spider, who is hanging on the cattle panels there beside where their raised beds are. So we kind of just put the camera down. We put up hundreds, okay, maybe not hundreds, but at least 30, 40 spiders or so of different various sizes. And then, of course, we have the big mama spider as well. So that one is there also. Just kind of place these wherever we see fit so they don't get knocked down too much. And they have a little bit of stable footing there before we finish up the design of the 2026 season. Also, he incorporated some of these little itty bitty like spider cocoons. These aren't like full size people, but like maybe like rats or mice. They got caught by the spiders and they're cocooned and hanging on the sides of the maze there. That's pretty cool. We just stapled those into position or tied them around something. And that's pretty much the general setup for the actual haunted house maze and labyrinth. Now, of course, Ed does incorporate some extras along the way as the years go on. So we'll try to document those later on down the road. But this is just a little bit more of a more in-depth video on the actual setup of the walls and the actual webbing and things like that. So make sure you like and subscribe. Check out the rest of our haunted videos. We're also doing animatronic assembly videos, as well as just some general crafts with foam and things like that. Look forward to more of that coming out on my YouTube channel. So make sure you like and subscribe. If you're there for other forms of art, then that's also on my channel. I'll catch you later, guys.